My name is Jennifer Fink, and I have a mom with early onset Alzheimer's disease. Since you're listening, we're probably in the same boat. I created this podcast for caregivers and people dealing with every stage of dementia. You see, I'm not just the daughter of a woman living with Alzheimer's. I'm the granddaughter and great-granddaughter of women who also suffered from memory loss. Not a great family history, and one that I don't like having, especially when I forget where I was going in a conversation, or I can't find my keys, or... Wait, what was I talking about? I created Fading Memories because I couldn't find the information that I needed to help me care for my mom. A lot of the information I found was basic, or very technical, or required a lot of time to research. Some of the information was honestly a little wacky and unproven. So I talked to experts and people like us, because acquiring and sharing this knowledge is important. There are so many of us caring for a loved one with memory loss, and our numbers are unfortunately increasing rapidly. Until there is a prevention or a cure, maybe this podcast can be your next best resource. So subscribe to Fading Memories wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll go on this journey together.
This is Brewcrime, a craft beer and true crime podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am Beck, and we are your hosts.
On Brewcrime, we each take a true crime story and we pair it with a craft beer.
You can find our show on your favorite podcast apps. If you can't find it, contact us and we'll try to change that.
We can be found at www.brewcrime.com or on Twitter at Brewcrime, and also on all the social media platforms for Pacific Beer Chat at Pacific Beer Chat. We can also be found at Brewcrime at pacificbeerchat.com.
Join us as we discuss depraved killers, stupid criminals, and likely some completely unrelated tangents.
Cheers.
Cheers.
In February 2016, Ashley Simpson moved in with her boyfriend into a trailer in Salmon Arm, British Columbia. By April 2016, Ashley decided she wanted to move back home to Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, to take on a summer job and attend her sister's bridal shower. On April 27, 2016, Ashley and her boyfriend, Derek Favell, had a fight over money. She's been missing ever since. From the South Shore of Lake Erie, this is Great Lakes True Crime. Before we get started with today's episode, I just have a couple reminders. Please follow us on Twitter at Great Lakes Crime, or follow us on Facebook. Just search for Great Lakes True Crime. And if you would, leave us a positive review on your podcast app. It really helps, and we really appreciate it. This episode is the first time, it might be the only time, we venture out of the Great Lakes region, but it certainly starts here. Ashley Simpson lived in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, when she decided to travel to the northern British Columbia work camps with her father, John, who was a cook there. Niagara-on-the-Lake is a town in southwestern Ontario on the Niagara Peninsula at the point where the Niagara River meets Lake Ontario. It is a population of about 18,000 people. Niagara-on-the-Lake draws throngs of tourists with its quaint colonial-style buildings, the Shaw Festival, historic Fort George, wineries, and its proximity to Niagara Falls, which is just a short drive to the south. In my experience, the town has a decidedly British feel to it and offers a very walkable downtown area with a variety of bakeries, gift shops, restaurants, theaters, and other attractions. It offers a quiet, cultural alternative to the crowds, casinos, and commercial tourist attractions of Niagara Falls. Back to Ashley's decision to travel to British Columbia. Work camps, also known as industrial camps, are places in British Columbia where people are employed in support of industries such as forestry, sawmills, mining, canneries, and oil and gas mining. Ashley worked at the Sasquatch Crossing and its sister motel, the Buffalo Inn, for 3 seasons, working in the kitchens and managing reservations. These support jobs at work camps are often seasonal, with housing situations being very temporary. The work camp that Ashley worked at caters to truck drivers, roughnecks, and other oil and gas workers on the Alaska Highway, and is located about 2 hours northwest of Fort St. John. With a population of about 21,000, Fort St. John is the largest city in northeastern British Columbia. When Ashley and boyfriend Derek made the decision to move from the work camp south to Salmon Arm, Brent Cox let the couple live in a Dutchman trailer that Derek owned on his property. Brent and Derek had been friends for quite some time, so Brent had no problem with the arrangement. In an interview, Brent said the last time he saw Ashley was earlier the day of the fight when she was working in the yard. According to Brent, he heard the couple fighting and asked them to keep the noise down. Derek confirmed that the couple argued over money and claimed that when he woke up the next morning, Ashley was gone. He thought perhaps Brent had driven her into town or maybe to a friend's house to spend a couple of days. Apparently she had done this before after the couple would argue. Brent, on the other hand, said that he didn't know anything about Ashley being gone until her boyfriend Derek told him about it the morning after the fight. He said Derek told him that he received a text from Ashley in the morning that she had left for good and she would send for her things. Derek recalled the conversation a bit differently. He said he told Brent that he was pretty sure she took off in the morning and that he had received 2 texts from her around 7:30 to 8 o'clock in the morning. She basically told Derek that she was done with him, but she didn't mention anything about sending for her things. Brent assumed she had taken off for home, since he knew she had been planning the move for a while. Likewise, Ashley's family was expecting her home in Ontario. Derek said he was crushed when he realized she was missing, and he filed a missing persons report after learning that Ashley had not been in contact with her family at all. When she still didn't show up anywhere for a couple weeks, police suspected that Ashley may have met with foul play. As the search for Ashley entered its 3rd week, her family became increasingly frantic about her whereabouts. Her family had been trying to get a hold of her, but were concerned when she wasn't answering any phone calls or text messages, and there was no activity on her Facebook page. It was out of the ordinary for Ashley not to be in contact with any family members for that long. According to her sister Amy, she had always been a nomad like that. But to not go on Facebook like 100 times a day, to not post what she's doing, who she's with, and what songs she's listened to, is extremely unusual. On Friday, May 6th, members of Shuswap Search and Rescue joined with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or RCMP, to conduct a search in the Silver Creek, Salmon Valley area, but no sign of Ashley was found. The Enderby RCMP set up 2 roadblocks at busy intersections where Ashley's photo was shown to drivers, and they were asked if they had any information about her. Again, though, no substantial leads were generated from these efforts. A number of family members and friends took to driving across Canada from Ontario, handing out missing persons flyers and searching for Ashley. The flyers showed her photo and described Ashley, a Caucasian woman with brown eyes and brown hair, about 5'5" and weighing 119 pounds. She has tattoos on both forearms. On the left arm is the word gypsy and a flower, while her right arm has a dragonfly with strawberries. She also has an anchor tattoo on her chest and wears a nose ring. In the months that followed Ashley's disappearance, the family did anything they could think of within their means to help locate her. They kept in close contact with police, who provided regular updates but unfortunately still couldn't locate her. They even consulted psychics. In October 2016, Ashley's father walked in heels as part of the Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event in St. Catharines, Ontario, as well as the Sisters in Spirit and Take Back the Night events. He said, "It's something I can do. I can't just do nothing. I won't stop until Ashley is home." A year after Ashley's disappearance, in May 2017, John returned to British Columbia to search for her and to hold a sort of town hall open house where anyone could come in and talk to him. He implored the Canadian military to use their resources to search for Ashley. John wants the country to do more, to find not only Ashley, but other missing women as well, especially Caitlin Potts and Deanna Wirtz, who both have also gone missing from that area. In fact, 5 women went missing from that part of British Columbia in less than a 2-year period. In October 2017, a glimmer of hope emerged in the search for Ashley. On October 19th, a massive police presence moved into a 24-acre property on Salmon River Road in Silver Creek, which is in the vicinity of where Ashley lived. A search of the property was ongoing for several days due to the size and number of buildings at the site. At first, it wasn't clear if the search was for Ashley or perhaps one of the other women who had gone missing, including the aforementioned Caitlin Potts and Deanna Wirtz, as well as Tracy Genereux and Nicole Bell. In the end, it turned out that human remains on the property were found, and they were identified, but they belonged to 18-year-old Tracy Genereux. An arrest was made in that case, and the trial is pending. Several weeks later, on November 18th, 2017, 2 volunteer groups used drones to search for Ashley and the other missing women, but to no avail. After several fundraisers, however, a follow-up drone search was conducted by volunteers in July 2018. While the most recent drone search didn't turn up anything, a very peculiar turn of events happened in early October 2018. Ashley's driver's license was found, nearly 800 miles away from where she was last seen. Her license turned up in the tank of a sewage vacuum truck used by the Sasquatch Crossing Lodge in northern British Columbia. This was the area where Ashley previously worked. It's possible that the license was lost long before she moved south. It's also possible that, well, anything seems possible. The family and police don't seem to know what to make of this event. Ashley Simpson remains missing today, and she's presumed to have met with foul play. She was a loving daughter who was extremely close with her family. If you know anything about her disappearance, even a small piece of information, you can provide information anonymously by visiting bccrimestoppers.com or calling 1-800-222-8477. I presume that phone number may only work in Canada, so if you're outside the country and you do know something, please visit bccrimestoppers.com. For Great Lakes True Crime, this is your host, writer, and producer, Steve. Thanks for listening, guys, and we're going to let Chef Ramsay have the last word again tonight.
I ain't no bitch, Chef. I don't give a I ain't no bitch. What?
Hi, we're the Grave Girls from Grave Girls Podcast. I'm your host, Hawthorne.
And I'm Amaryllis. Every week we watch a different horror film, and I find a scary story that goes with it that will definitely leave you shaking in your boots.
And if you aren't wearing boots, my true crime case and murder will scare the pants off you.
And then you'll just be naked, and that's just a fun time.
So listen to us on SoundCloud and iTunes.
And follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Don't forget to check out our website at grave-girls.com.
We love you all in case we die.
Bye!